Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Tanesia's Locks, Beauty Tips and Potpourri. You're with Tanesia Ali, helping you sometimes to laugh, helping you sometimes to be informed, but ultimately my mission is always to enlighten minds in the pursuit of intellectual curiosity and spiritual wellness. So if you haven't joined my Butterfly Transformations channel, take this as an opportunity to do so. If you haven't visited the I Am Melanin Magic website, also take this as an opportunity to do so. I'm here today to help you to gain clarity, up-level your mindset, okay, so that you can clear and heal emotional blockages so that you can manifest abundance. That is my ultimate goal. Even when I'm talking about hair, that is my ultimate goal, because that's who I am. You may identify with me through the hair, but ultimately I'm about helping us divine feminines gain clarity in areas of our lives where we need to gain clarity through being informed. I'm about helping us to heal. Okay, oftentimes we heal and we discover ourselves through our hair, because that in and of itself is a spiritual journey. And y'all know I believe spirituality is everything and everything is spiritual. And I'm not talking about religion. I also believe deeply in up-leveling our mindset. As you up-level your mindset, you increase your frequency. As you increase your frequency, you allow yourself to be able to access various levels of life that you cannot access when you're at the previous vibrational frequency. And ultimately, as I said before, most of all, I am about experiencing the joy and the gratification when we are able to tap into our divine birthright, which is abundance and prosperity. So anything that helps you be more of your divine self, I'm 100% about. Today I'm talking about the thumbnail says things I hate about my Sisterlocks, or things I hate about Sisterlocks. That's more of clickbait, as they call it. What I want to talk about today is the nuisance aspects of my Sisterlock journey, the things that I have come in contact with. And y'all see I'm getting a little bit of gray right here, right? I've always had this gray, but it's becoming a little bit more apparent now. My dad has told me that something in my oil is reducing his gray. I'm aware of 3 ingredients in there that are research proven for reducing gray. So I'm going to get real serious. I'm going to do this in concentrations. I'm going to see if I get any other results. But I think I told y'all some time ago, I'm embracing the 50s. The 50s, y'all, first of all, the dirty 30s, I'm glad as hell to be out of those. 40s, as my mother always taught me, life starts at 40. 40 is the time to redefine, to reassess, to reevaluate and reconstruct. But your 50s, baby, now that's when you come into your power. And trust you me, that's what I'm looking forward to in this decade. So I've got a few more months to be technically in my 50s, but I'm embodying and drawing those energies to me currently, because I have not been asleep throughout this journey. So I am looking forward to the ways in which my life is transforming right before my eyes, and I hope that you are too. I know that many of you on this channel are in my age bracket. That's one of the reasons why we resonate. But I also know I have a lot of beautiful souls that are 10, 20, and sometimes a little bit more younger than I am. And then some who are in the 60s, and a couple of few that are in the 70s. So welcome home, everybody. Welcome home as I dig into this topic. So we're talking about more or less nuisance items, things that you may be able to identify with. Please stick around to the end of this video, and I'd like you to let me know you made it to the end in the comments, in addition to letting me know what some of your gripes or some of your hates or some of your minor inconveniences or nuisance complaints are with regard to your Sisterlocks. My first one is the retightenings. Y'all know I don't like the plucked chicken look. Y'all know I like my locks to look like this. I don't like to be able to see any part. So whenever I get a retightening, I have issues with the way it looks, and that's not something I can really get around. Now, I got around it this last time when Naima did my my lock retightening, because I told her deliberately to leave quite a bit of space. I wanted about at minimum of 1 rotation, perhaps a little bit more. So I got this look here, which I really love. But also, as it relates to the retightenings we're talking about, look, y'all, Albie finally sitting her hyper behind down. Okay, y'all know I had to bring her butt out here, because if I don't, she's gonna act like a fool on the other side of the door the whole time, and y'all not gonna be able to hear me. So the maintenance, having to go and get them done ever so often. All right, some people like the retightenings. I wish we didn't have to do them at all, but hey, y'all, we are not angels, and this is not heaven, and we already know everybody wants to die. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Okay, most people don't want to die, but we do want to get to heaven. But the way to get there is what we're afraid of, because we don't know what's really on the other side. For those of us who do know what's on the other side, or we recognize that this multiverse in which we live in is rich and fluid with so many experiences, and we don't live in fear, you might be surprised. There are some people out there who don't mind checking out, because they know there's great things waiting for them on the other side of this experience. But the maintenance schedule, all right? And then sometimes the things that can be associated with the retightening. We talk about this on the channel. I've become more aware over time. This used to be more of a problem than it is now, because I too have evolved. But sometimes the soreness that can come from a retightening, if you don't speak up, or even if you're not paying attention to what's going on in the retightening, and say you're talking to your loctician and you're not really paying attention, you're not focusing consciously on what's going on, so you don't notice any discomfort. But then when you get home the next day, you realize, ooh, I think, it's a little too tight, and it's something that you could have maybe avoided had you been more present for the experience in the first place. So those are issues related to the retightenings. Now, some people might complain about the price. I don't, because I'm going to tell you, till the cows come home, the Sisterlocks are worth it. Whatever I had to pay for these, I would do it all over again, whether it was this brand, whether it was the Tiny Locks, whether it was Microlocks, or whatever else people can identify with. I would pay it many times over, because of the freedom from the tyranny of hair enslavement that I have benefited from. I have so much more to do in my life now besides focus on what my hair looks like. I feel free. I get up every morning encased in the energy of life, not only the gift of life, but all of the wonderful things that I can do to increase my satisfaction with life. I don't have time to worry about my hair. I need a good hair day every day, and that is what this style gives me. So this is very, very important. The second thing that I have a bit of an issue with, or that's a little bit of a nuisance, is the lack of responsible feedback or / accountability and transparency with the brand. I admire Dr. Joanne Cornwell and what she has given us on so many levels. She stepped out there and she pioneered in this area in the way of legalizing and patenting some aspects of this in order to make it a proprietary brand. So I know that was not easy. And being a business person myself for almost 20 years, has it been more than 20? Close to 20 years, I recognize what is involved in doing that and taking something to another level and giving it not only community and national notoriety, but international presence is not an easy task. I know that many of us have flocked to the brand for what the brand represents in terms of hair freedom, in terms of lock abundance, in terms of identity, with whatever our journeys have been, both spiritual and historical, with regard to being melanated people within the African diaspora. So it's quite an accomplishment. Many of us have paid lots of money to the tune of thousands, and if you include the maintenance that we invest in, it's quite a bit more than that. And if you think about having these locks for y'all want to hear some music? Okay. Okay. So you can easily exceed, you can be into the tens of thousands if you look at the number of years times the number of retightenings, plus your initial installation fees and anything else that you may be doing. If you happen to be buying Iron Melanin Magic Oil, you can add that in too. But yeah, so it adds up. So when you have people across the globe supporting a brand, I think visibility and outward support for the brand is important. It may not be a legal requirement depending upon who you talk to and what particular issue you are addressing, because there are some issues that I feel are legal. liabilities. But steering clear of that and not digressing, it is good. It is a wonderful way to provide a customer feedback loop and to continue to put the brand out there and let the brand be presented in a way where its primary consumers feel a sense of connection with the brand. Not that everybody doesn't, but there is a significant population of people who are dissatisfied or who feel dismissed, whereby a lot of that could be alleviated with just a little bit of acknowledgement with regard to some issues that are really significant, not just issues within the client population of people that have Sisterlocks, but also with the locticians, also with some of the master locticians, and some of those people who are participating in the training. And granted, as a caveat, I will say it doesn't matter what you do, you're never going to please everybody, and that's not the goal. Okay, there gets to be a point where you just simply can't please everybody, and if that's what you're trying to do, then you might as well go ahead and get in the coffin, because it's never going to happen. But there is, I believe, a mutual reciprocity that needs to happen when people are supporting you and pouring into you. I think that it's important to have a platform by which certain concerns can be addressed. I think it's important to have a certain amount of presence as a public figure with a brand like this that is so iconic in a way. So that's a pet peeve that I have, that, you know, with that particular issue, that I think could be aided with better feedback loops, with better avenues for grievances for those locticians who feel unfairly handled, having more updated information, more updated videos. Let us take a look at how her hair is coming along. I got to tell you guys, I'm gonna put this picture up here. This is not to be malicious in any way, and I don't know if I can. I have to edit the video. I can get it up there, I may not. I just saw 12. Maybe I won't put it up there, but there's a picture that I saw on the website more recently as I was looking into the trichologist program certification that she has to help address people who come to Sisterlocks or who are in Sisterlocks and are experiencing hair loss. Now, granted, I'm going to do a video on that because it doesn't mention any of the issues that I discuss on the channel, and we can't run from this. We can't run from the fact that the Sisterlocks themselves, or that Microlocks themselves, can be a liability if done and maintained under certain conditions, period. You don't have to have a genetic issue or a hereditary deficiency or even a nutritional deficiency to experience hair loss. If you have all of those things intact and you are getting hair loss, then you've got to be willing to look at some of the environmental factors, namely these, okay? And that's what I want to talk about, but that's another video. So updated information and things of that nature that are important when people are supporting you. And I know that is not always easy, guys. I know it's not easy. All right. I know that sometimes when you're doing things on a much smaller level, and you have a small business that doesn't have the same global reach and global ramifications as an international business presence does, then it may be easier to do some of that. But I think it's important to at least make an effort. If you feel that way, please say in the comments, I think it's important to at least make an effort. I think it's important to at least make an effort. Okay, so the third thing I want to talk about are some of the brand idiosyncrasies that come across that are more on the shoulders of those of us that have the locks, less associated with the brand and more on the in the area of responsibility related to people like me and you that have Sisterlocks, things that circulate in the community, but by also things that circulate in the community sometimes out of ignorance because the brand itself has not come out and shared certain items of transparency that should be general knowledge, that have nothing to do with that are simply myths, that are not going to give away any patented information or anything that has to do with training, but just as it's about, this would help to publicize the brand and help people to be more relaxed with the brand because they will be more informed. But these particular idiosyncrasies don't necessarily emanate from the brand, but they emanate from people like you and me. Things like, for example, if you don't have 400 locks. If your hair can't even sustain 400 locks, but if you don't have 400 locks, then maybe you don't have Sisterlocks. Things like, which I don't believe, and that could come, this next statement could come from the brand, but to me, I could give a damn, to be honest with you. If I got Sisterlocks installed and I paid Sisterlocks money and the tool is being used to retighten my hair, or it was used to install my locks and they look like this, as far as I'm concerned, I have Sisterlocks now. I had them yesterday, I'm going to have them tomorrow, and I'm going to have them when I go to the grave, God willing, unless and until I decide to take them out. There's not going to be anything anybody's going to be able to tell me, not even Miss Cornwell herself, to make me believe that I no longer have Sisterlocks. So this thing in the community that circulates with people running around pointing the finger, telling people you don't have Sisterlocks because of this, you don't have Sisterlocks because of that. Now it's a difference if you don't have the grid. Okay, it's a difference if you didn't have yours put in by somebody who went through the Sisterlocks proprietary training program and things like that. But far be it from any of those things for someone to still claim that. I feel like that is problematic. We have a lot of those kinds of things that go around within the brand. Things such as people feeling that they are better than other people because they have Sisterlocks. I've heard this quite often, that there's this air of being sedity because you have Sisterlocks. That type of thing that can be divisive. Now, that has nothing to do with the brand. That has to do with the individuals. But that's something that I've never associated myself with. It just doesn't resonate with me. I don't believe that because you paid a certain amount of money for a particular hairstyle. I don't care if you paid a certain amount of money for a particular house you live in, or a certain amount of money for a pair of shoes you're wearing. It doesn't make you any better than anybody else. It just happens to say that you had the money and you could afford to do it. But that's it. So little brand related idiosyncrasies like that are things that can be problematic. I also talk about number 4, which I feel is a nuisance aspect of Sisterlocks, is the lack of information about scalp oil, or oil being used in the hair, which brings me to the larger point, which is really about the lack of individualization that comes across with the brand. I think that some room needs to be made for a little bit more flexibility and less rigidity. I am so big on each individual's specialized, unique journey through this thing we call life that we participate in this classroom of life, or this earth school. I feel very strongly that no two fingerprints are alike, no two energetic imprints are alike, no two anything is alike. So that means I don't have the same needs as you. If you purchase my I Am Melanin Magic Oil, I might love it. You may hate the odor. It may make you throw up. Okay? If you purchase my oil and you don't like it, you may not like it because it's not for you. It has a certain energy frequency in it that is based on my preference. So it's not going to resonate with everybody. There may be something else that you want to find. That's how life is. So by the same token, I can't tell you not to put oil on your scalp when you've been oiling your scalp your entire life, and once you decide to listen to me, you don't put any oil on your scalp, and then a year and a half or 2 years into your Sisterlocks journey, you develop scalp issues, which inevitably are going to lead to hair loss. I don't want to be responsible for that. I find that we need individualization and people need to be flexible. And if the brand does not allow for that, then individual locticians themselves need to do more investigative research, and they need to find more effective ways to tailor their services to their clientele, because ultimately the client's experience is going to be very different than the person who may have actually started the brand and had particular hair care needs, and maybe the study group. So we just have to allow a little bit of flexibility when it comes to some things that we end up making life decisions about. I think that is very important. So with this thing with the oil, people will go to bat with you on that, but the majority of people that I've talked to, with regard to the channel, their concern has been that they need something on their scalp, but they've been told blah 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 blah. I've heard that after a certain amount of time of doing the caveman approach, which is not putting anything on your scalp, then eventually your scalp will adjust. And that may well be true, but I also know that there are plenty of people who are out here in the world before they had Sisterlocks and had any chemical treatments. What's going on with my throat chakra? Am I saying something I'm not supposed to be saying? Hold on. I also know that was a joke. I also know that whatever your needs were typically before you had Sisterlocks, your needs are not going to they're not going to stray too far from that. I think it's important to keep that in mind. And in saying that, if you have people who have had natural hair all their life and they've never used heat treatments, they may not have had locks, but they've never used heat treatments, and those people can't go without oil. They've never used heat, they've never used chemical treatments, they've never used anything different than what we might not use when we have a natural style, and they still need to put something on their hair, because if they don't, it's going to break, it's going to feel brittle, it's going to feel dry, maybe their hair is very porous, who knows. Then who am I to tell you that under no uncertain circumstances are you to put any oil on your hair, and that if you do, then this is going to happen, that's going to happen, that's going to happen. What I say is, I can understand someone saying that if they feel that, okay, it could affect the heaviness, the weight. Maybe you need to consider the quality of what you're putting in your hair. Maybe we don't want residue and all of those things. But unless scientifically that can be proven beyond a shadow of a doubt, which it simply cannot, because my needs are different than yours are different than your sister's, her needs are different than your mother's, and so forth and so on, then I think that those kind of areas of rigidity, there needs to be more individualization. And that can play out in a lot of different ways. It can play out in, I'm going to put the grid in this way, and large to me looks like this, medium looks like this, small looks like this. And if you don't like the size of the large, which for me is, this is my size large, but for that loctician, that's another size large, I'm not going to change this into a more uniform size to satisfy you, because the brand says that a D dot da da, that a D dot da da. And that's not always coming from the brand, that's the individual, and maybe perhaps some of their rigidity. But the rigidity, as it relates to the brand and the need to kind of bend a little bit to encompass the individual's needs and differences, I think that that is something that would be better if it were left out. All of us would be better served if there were a little bit more individuality. Now, don't mistake what I'm saying, because folks love to take things out of context, and then you say something in the comments and it doesn't even address what I was really saying. I know some people have done that in the past, and sometimes I address it. Sometimes I don't have time because I'm saying they weren't listening, or they missed the whole point. I'm not addressing small, medium, large. I'm simply saying that small, medium, large depends upon a person's density and volume. What's small to me is not small to you, and vice versa. There are a lot of things that go into that. So we have to be willing to individualize and tweak something so that everyone at the end of the day is satisfied. And that's just one example. That one and the aforementioned, those are just one examples, or a couple of examples of some things that we have to take a look at. But I saw a picture more recently of Dr. Joanne Cornwell, and this brings me to the point of being more visible. I got the distinct impression that there was something going on with this whole area of the front part of her head. I really did. I really got the distinct impression. And I almost said to myself, well, is she experiencing some thinning? Like, what's going on there? And what is happening with this? Because normally her hair is long like this, right? So I was just wondering about that. That's off topic in the sense. That goes back to number 2. But yeah, I want to, if I have a chance, y'all, to put that image in this video, minute 24. I'm going to put that at 24 for those of you all who stick around. Have a look at that. It looked a little bit different than it normally does. And these, again, are things that you share with, I mean, y'all, as much as I talk about hair and my I Am Melanin Magic line, and as big as I am on the fact that that has been responsible for keeping my hair healthy and long, y'all going to be with me on this journey. 7 years from now, if I'm losing my hair, I'm not going to hide it. I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to get up here and we're going to try to figure out what the hell is going on and where I went wrong so that I can help y'all out. You see what I'm saying? So these things are important. So here again to that issue of transparency. Oh, Lord. Kismet is out on the road. The issue of transparency, that's really, really important. Five, and this is not a big deal. This is a nuisance thing. Mine are very long. Stop it, go. So the heat in the summertime, because I seldom pull my hair up. And if I do pull it up, I do it very loosely. You know, and you'll see me just take a bit of my long hair and I will do, my dog is crazy, y'all, but I love her. She is definitely on the spectrum, and I'll do it like this. But I seldom put my hair up. So it gets kind of hot in the summertime, and that gets to be a nuisance. But guess what? I could think of a whole lot of other things I could be dealing with that could be a bigger nuisance than this, right? Okay, so number 6. This is a huge pet peeve of mine, and y'all are, I didn't even tie that, y'all, and it's still stuck up there. And y'all know this is a pet peeve of mine. And this is actually one of the catalysts other than your requests on the channel. And when I find something to get rid of these bags, I'll let y'all know, okay? But right now, I don't have anything except surgery, and I'm not about to let them cut on my face. I'm too afraid to do that. But anyway, part of my sharing the I Am Melanin Magic brand, the hair oil, not the serum, but the spray, on this channel had to do with the fact that I strongly believe that it is responsible for helping me to maintain my hair and causing it to grow 2 and 3 times longer than many of the people that I know that have had locks as long as me and whose hair grows at an average rate just like mine does. I strongly believe that not only has it helped it grow, but it has counteracted many of the things that I have done to my hair that otherwise would have had it much shorter and much more broken by this time. So in saying that, my 6th nuisance item or nuisance complaint has to do with the fact that hair loss, thinning, and problems as a result of this style and styles like this, not to do with your genetics, not to do with some dermatological issue, not to do with some hair trauma you experienced when you were 6, not to do with some nutritional deficiency, all other things being equal, not to do with some levels of stress or some dramatic weight loss or something else you've been dealing with. That hair loss related to styles like this, Sisterlocks, Microlocks, perhaps even traditional locks and all of that, that takes me into another area in which I don't know as much about because I don't have those locks, that type of hair loss is not being discussed more. I'm tired of it. It's like the big goddamn elephant in the room. And the reason why is because it's like, y'all, when you go and get a prescription from the pharmacy, right? And you know you're getting ready to take something to not heal something, but to address some symptoms that you have. And when you look at the side effects and the counterindications or the contraindications, you see the same things that you're trying to get rid of. Sometimes you even see death. If you're getting something for asthma, it might say an asthma attack is one of the side effects. But we ignore that. We ignore that, right? Which is fine. We make choices. I'm not judging anybody. But what I'm saying is, the most oldest knowledge we have in our community about hair loss around the edges specifically. This stuff is a little different. Pattern hair loss, that's a topic for another day. Although we have sisters in this community that have had hair loss in many areas and have lost almost all their locks. And now that they are starting over, all of that hair is growing back. That is not alopecia associated with dermatological and hereditary issues. That is hair loss associated with a style similar to this one. So the fact that we can know that when we used to go to those braid salons and we would see the women from other so-called third world countries have no hair around here, but the braids would be tight, they would be on fleek, or however it is young folks say, they will be bomb, but they were missing about the first 2 inches of their hair all the way around here, and people just got used to seeing it, and we would leave out of there with them braided just as tight, and over time you knew you were going to lose your hair. You didn't try to blame that on dermatological issues or hereditary issues or diet or stress. You knew where it came from. So why are we acting like now that this hair loss that we see over an extended period of time has nothing to do with the style? Why are we tripping like that? If we were to change that position, then maybe we could be a part of the problem and not a part of the solution. Maybe now we can talk about what can we do, since you don't want to sacrifice that style, since you still want to keep getting those retightenings. I'm guilty as charged. I have no intentions of letting this style go. All right. But what can we do to help mitigate this? And by denying that this is even an issue that we need to be talking about, how are we going to address it? So that is my sixth and most critical issue, nuisance, complaint, or something that I very much am displeased with and disenchanted with as it relates to my Sisterlocks, and perhaps the brand to an extent, but my Sisterlock experience insofar as it also encompasses your Sisterlock experience, because I am you and you are me, and your concerns are my concerns. I love y'all. I got to thank you again for supporting this channel. I got to thank you again for supporting my healing practice. I got to thank you again for supporting IamMelaninMagic.com. Some of you have already gone to do your reviews. Others of you who have not, please go to the site, submit your review for the product that you have used. Go ahead and select the picture of it and do a review. That's all you have to do when you go to IamMelaninMagic.com. Select the product and scroll down and you can do a review. When you do that, text my phone 678-438-6442 and I will send you a discount so that when you order next time, you can order through me, not the website, until I figure out the software and figure out how to do a coupon. I can honor that that discount for you. But I hope y'all are doing well. I want you to know I love you. I want you to know I support you because you support me. I want to continue bringing quality content to this channel. I will be branching out over the next several months. Hopefully we'll have a lot of wonderful things to share with you that go far above and beyond what it is that I'm doing currently right now. I have enjoyed being a part of this platform. I have enjoyed interfacing with each of you kind souls. So many of you have resonated with me and I have resonated with you, and I want you to know that you have enriched my life. Not just having enriched my experience with the locks and all that, you have enriched my life in ways that are immeasurable. And I really mean that, and I'm thankful to God for that, because had I not been following righteous guidance and had I not been following my intuition and the energy of my heart, I might not have ever come back to this channel. I started it probably 8 or 9 years ago, put up 2 or 3 videos, was worried about what other people thought about them, closed the channel, took it down, and that was the end of it. That was when I was in the space of the mental imprisonment that I have created for myself, when I was worried about what other people think, which is a thing of the past. I'm grateful to that because it helped me to move forward in my life in a lot of ways, and it wasn't easy for me to let that go. You'd be surprised how often sometimes it's easy to say I don't care what other people think, but in reality you do. You can. I know I did. But anyway, had I not started this channel, I wouldn't have received some of the blessings through relationship, through abundance, through greater levels of self-awareness, through greater levels of conviction and self-evolvement, and so many other things that factor into the ultimate raise in my vibration and the ability to liberate myself and live a life based on my terms. So I'm just so grateful to you guys for that. I appreciate you, and I want you to know I appreciate you. I think we're coming up on 16.5K, and sometimes I'm kind of out of the loop and I haven't been able to do videos as often as I'd like to. I'm trying to really work on that. You all have given to me, so I've got to give more to the channel. And so if you resonate with that, just know that it is in my heart and mind, and it is an intention that I'm setting. So I love you guys. I really hope that y'all are out here experiencing the beauty and the abundance of this weather, that maybe you are planting some flowers, and if not, then maybe you are getting some flowers and bringing these beautiful feminine essences into your home, that maybe you will take a spiritual bath, that maybe you will find some way to bring more sensual pleasure, color, feminine energy, light, fresh air, and empress energy into your life. The springtime is a time of rebirth. It's a time of resurrection. It's a time to soar. It's a time to reconnect with your wings and reconnect with yourself and the things that allow you to thrive and the things that make you feel good and strong. And if there's something in your life that you feel needs changing, change it. If there's something in your life that feels like rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, and you feel like you've outgrown it, move away from it. If there's something you want to do, if there's a passion that you're nurturing in your life, if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to move up in a particular job, if you want to be at another level of echelon with regard to your studies, whatever it is that you want in this life, you have one life right now. This time around, as we know it, enjoy it and live it to the fullest. Value every single day, folks. Ladies, we waste too much time. Fifi, baby, Ronnie, can you get some water for this Daisy? Look at my little Gerber Daisy. She's struggling over there. And it just rained. My baby's trying to, oh my gosh, she's struggling. I just planted these, y'all, not too long. Oh, that's my drinking water, girl. No, water from, girl, that's my water. I travel all the way down to Flovilla and Microlocks to get this water. I love my plants, though. You can mix it, baby, but you know, that's like the water that I kind of need. They're entrenched in Mother Earth. Huh? That's Ronnie. I'm going to see if I can get her to give y'all a shout out. We're going to do a video soon. We know y'all been requesting that. I'm trying to get Sophia, Ronnie, to do a live. All right. I'm trying to get her to do a live. So if we do a live and y'all be interested in watching us just talk and dialogue with y'all in whatever way, leave something in the comments and let me know what kinds of things y'all would like for us to address in the live. And I'm going to try to drag her and get her to do a live. And if we can do that, I'll be happy to announce that on the channel. Maybe it'll be like, maybe I'll learn how to do an announcement that premieres, that you can set a reminder to or something so that you'll be notified when we do it. I don't know how to do that, but I'm going to figure it out. But yeah, as I was saying, I want to thank y'all for supporting the channel. 16.5 we're coming up on now in terms of subscribers, and it feels good. Sophia, can you, Ronnie, can you say hi to my channel? Subscribers, my sisters. My name is Ronnie. Y'all heard it. I clarified that when you were in the house. Y'all, her locks look so good today. Baby, come look. Come and let us
take them out.
Come. You ain't gotta take them out. Let them see. Ronnie, isn't the channel called Ronnie, the real Ronnie? Yeah. Come on, Sophia. Why you take your little bun out?
So they can see the curls.
Oh, okay. She did some little. She could tell y'all what she did. Come on, Sophia. Tell us what you did. Show us what you're working with. Her hair, y'all. First of all, tell them what's responsible for the length in the last few months.
What's good, gang? It's Ronnie here, back at it again with another video. I am Melanin Magic.
She got that thing down there, y'all. Would you like to talk about that in this video?
What are we talking about?
Y'all need to ask her about that in the live.
Mom,
we are going to do a
like
live.
It. You know you think it's cute. You know you wish you had one.
Y'all know me better than that, right? Go ahead, Sophie, baby.
I use I Am Melanin Magic hair oil. Our site is up. We are going live within the next 2 weeks. Y'all need to go order. My hair is
we're going live on
luscious.
YouTube, but
Mom, don't be looking for no lint.
She knows I'm a lint freak, y'all. Yeah, pee outside, so you don't pee in the house.
But yeah, y'all, it is good to see y'all.
Oh, we're gonna do a live?
I got my braces off.
Oh yeah, y'all, she got her braces off. Dr. Craig claims I'm gonna have mine off in a few months.
That's what they
I don't know, y'all. I know if my face drops, y'all know I'm gonna be in trouble.
I did 55 bottles.
55?
Yeah.
Are you gonna do more, baby?
What?
I made enough for you to do 120.
Do they all have to be done today?
No, we're gonna put the
I did 55 today.
Okay, baby.
Just in the last.
How long did it take you, baby?
Probably an hour and a half.
Okay, so you don't want to put in another
spells
hour,
and
baby?
things like that.
You don't want to put another hour? That's not a lot of time.
I need some Starbucks, mommy.
Oh, she go. That's her way of leaving the building. But thank you, Ronnie. So yeah, y'all, we love y'all. We love your support. Sophia, what about the Ronnie? What about the live? I named this child Sophia.
Mommy,
is on her birth certificate.
stop.
Ronnie. Okay.
You gotta crop that out now.
What do you mean I gotta crop it out?
Is Ronnie.
Girl,
you ruining my image.
Girl, your image.
Yes, mommy. My name is Ronnie for my channel. You
and
can't have people calling me. So you've already had people commenting. So is your name Sophia or is it Ronnie?
What
you be calling me
you
that
serious?
all the time? Yeah. People are like, which one is it? You can't be doing that, mommy.
Well, I'll refer to you. Every now and then I slip up. Now, you got to give me some credit. Every now and then I slip up. Girl, that's my baby, okay? And I definitely call you that. I got you. I don't have you programmed in my phone like that, like some people do.
Naima does.
Naima has you programmed Ronnie in her phone.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all, this is Ronnie. Erase any memory, any She has objected to her birth name.
Mommy, my birth name is Ronnie. My soul's name is Ronnie.
Okay, that's her soul
Came to me in a
name.
dream.
Came to her in a
That's
dream.
how
I
I
can't
came
fight
up
that,
with
y'all. I'm
it.
sorry, I can't fight that. It came to her in a dream. Let's face it, I did pick Ali for my last name. I picked that name and legalized it. So hey, okay, Ronnie is her soul name. But then what is the name that I gave you?
That's my flesh name.
That's her flesh name. That's your love name.
Yeah, that's my love name.
That's your flesh name.
But I don't
Ronnie
identify.
resonates in your soul.
Yeah,
I
I
understand.
identify
Well,
with Ronnie.
okay, baby. I'm gonna do better, but it does
She
take time.
identifies as Albie.
She has no choice. Well, Ronnie, what is the meaning of Ronnie? Please
Ronnie
tell me. I know it has a meaning.
It means the listener. And it also
Oh, it
means
does?
queen in Hindu.
Oh, it means the listener and it means queen. But Ronnie, it's gotta have an Arabic meaning too, because Ra,
That's what the listener
Alif,
is.
Noon.
That's what the listener is.
Oh, in Arabic
Yeah.
it means Rani, Ranun. Oh, okay.
Not Ranu, it's
No, I
Rani.
said Ranu in terms of the letters.
I hate
Ra,
people say-
Ra, Alif, Noon.
Whenever I go to the places and I tell them it's Ronnie, they spell it R-O-N-I-E.
Okay. Oh yes, it's Ronnie.
Or
Ronnie.
sometimes it'd be like
R-A-N-I-I.
Yeah.
So y'all, I love y'all. This video is getting way long. If you stuck around to the end, let me know. If you stuck around to the end, send me a text, and if you want the oil, I'll give it to you at a $15 off discount. Sophia is gonna have a fit. But this expires October the 1st. Yeah, October. Baby, the more you give, I keep telling you, if I've taught you anything, it's about being charitable. Love
It's
y'all.
May.
Mwah. I know it's May, June, July, August, September. That's 5 months. That's not a big deal.